Hello, how is everyone doing? Good to see you all. It was my wife that won today. She was first in the comments. I'm not sure if she did a bit of cheating though. It's fine. It is what it is. I know she's excited for this one. She's a big fan of these guys. We went to see them. We've seen them twice now. Where did we first see them? Hedgerow House, I think it was. They were supporting Citrus Heights at the time. And then we saw them at Hyde Park Book Club in Leeds as well. Anyway, how is everyone doing? Let's see it in the comments. What's everyone been up to? I've pretty much sat on this computer all day and worked away. I've got these t-shirts on sale today, which is good. I've been finalising the poster and stuff for the 11th of July, the Assembly Point Festival, the all-day, full-day live stream. And also I've done a bit of Jackson Lake's album, been working on some of his mixes. I'll be getting some stuff sent over to him later on this evening after this. That's about it really. And then just a little bit more booking as well, organising the last of the shows, the run up to 100 of these. I keep forgetting how many we're on now. It's not very good, is it? How many are we on? 64? No idea. Someone let us know, that'd be nice. And if your heart's in the right place, then your time is now. People say we can do all kinds of things, but if your life's gone the wrong way, it's time to turn it around. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, don't you think? Nothing in this life will come free. You get out what you put in, something's got to give. Do you remember when you were young? Did you think there'd be something more? 'Cause I know that I did. You not hear the guitar again?
Hello. How's that? Right. We'll start that again. And if your heart's in the right place, then your time is now. People say we can do all kinds of things, but if your life's gone the wrong way, it's time to turn it around. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, don't you think? Nothing in this life will come free. You get out what you put in. Something's got to give. Do you remember when you were young? Did you think that you'd be something more? 'Cause you know that I did. We are so strong. We are still holding on. You remember when you were young? Did you think that you'd be something more? 'Cause you know that I did. So strong, did so strong. And if your mind's in a dark place and you're searching for lights, get up, get out, never give it up. You know that you can trust in us. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, don't you think? Nothing in this life will come free. You get out what you put in. Something's got to give. Yeah. Do you remember when you were young? Did you think that you'd be something more? 'Cause you know that I did. We are so strong. We are still holding on. You remember when you were young? Did you think that you'd be something more? 'Cause you know that I did. So strong, did so strong. Do you remember when you were young? Did you think that you'd be something more? 'Cause you know that I did. So strong, did so strong. Thanks for that, guys. I appreciate you working out that there was a fault before I even realised. That's well good. You guys are like my tech support. You asked, Michael, you asked where you can get this merch. There's a link on my Instagram and on my Facebook. I'll see if I can find it. I'll find it at some point. And those of you that are watching on Facebook as well, if you want to come over to YouTube, that's where the majority of people watch the show, and the comments, there's like a chat section and people sort of chat with each other, and it's a nice little community. So if you want to head over and come and join us on here, feel free. If you're happy on Facebook, that's also okay. There you go. I've just put a link on. Right, okay, I'm going to jump right into the show, if the guys are ready. Here we go. We've got the guys from Green Gardens. Hey!
Hey!
How you doing, man? Guys? Men's?
Men's worked.
Gentlemen's.
How are you, man?
Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining me tonight.
That's all right.
Good.
Having us.
Okay, we have instantly, I can tell straight off the bat that we're going to have a slight issue with latency, but we'll just battle through because I think there's like a slight delay.
Okay, nightmare.
So, It's no better than having live latency in front of an audience. Anyways, it is what it is. How are you guys coping during lockdown? Are you guys sort of getting by and making the best of it? Are you still working, or are you still writing? Are you still doing music? What is life like for you guys?
I think it's been pretty well timed for us in a way, in that it's all this. We put out an EP recently, and all the sort of recording and writing and mixing and mastering was all done. I think the last thing we had to do was finished maybe a couple of days before lockdown started, and so it all
Synced up quite well.
yeah,
Luckily for us.
just gave us a lot to do in while we had to be trapped in our house, sort of thing.
Yeah, but we would have been doing it all from our laptops anyway, kind of thing. So it's kind of
Blessing.
it was all right. Yeah, we just about scraped through, which is good.
And it's given us a chance to write a best part of well, another EP or something.
Sweet.
Something else as well.
Later
So
in the
it's
year,
been
So we've kept fairly productive. I think we've done all right.
So you were saying it's been timed well. So you've already released some new music. Because the last time I saw you guys, you were playing stuff off your last EP. I didn't actually realize until today that you'd released more new music. So that's awesome. I can't wait to get my ears around that. But so you're saying that was all nicely timed, kind of in the sense of you were able to do all the admin kind of stuff and get all of the logistics of it sort of organized and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. The EP came out on Friday. It's called "Someone to Teach Me How to Breathe." Little plug for it there.
Go for it.
Yeah, so that came out a few days ago, and obviously the past maybe 2 months before that has just been sort of collecting everything together, so it's sort of a finished product when we can get it out. But yeah, it's been timed really well for us, and it's given us that. So I think if we both work full time, so if we were doing that, it would be a bit of a nightmare, kind of.
A bit more of a squeeze.
Have you both been furloughed?
Yeah.
It's been all right, yeah. I think we're lucky in that.
Yeah, we've managed.
I think to be able to take like as many positives out of this as possible is just the way to sort of approach it. Really, I feel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of messed up situations happening, and it's quite a an uncertain time for everybody. But like I really appreciate like the fact that you're able to turn, the fact that you've been furloughed and stuff, and turn it into a positive and be able to use your time productively. I think no one can fault you for that, and I think that's it's a really quite inspiring thing to do. Really, like.
Well, you have to think how lucky you are, don't you? Some people are in much worse situations, and there is much worse to be in. Yeah. And if you just turn it around as an opportunity to do something else, it's kind of a break from normal life, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
I think we feel very lucky to be creative as well in this time and have that
freedom to do what we would want to put more time into anyway. It's kind of given us all the time in the world to be able to do what we want to do.
It's a good outlet for us, isn't it?
So when it came to actually recording the EP and getting it ready to put out, is it something that you've self-produced, or have you worked alongside somebody else, or like produced it with other people and that kind of thing, or you kind of just sort of get your teeth in and just do it yourself, sort of thing?
Really, like previously we've always gone into Greenmount Studios in Alnley, and we've kind of done all of our stuff there. We've done like the recording and the mixing, and then we sent it off for mastering, like through someone that they know and trust, kind of thing. But then this time we kind of wanted more control over the writing process and the recording process, because it was getting to the point where obviously it costs to be in a studio, doesn't it, to have the luxury, so you can't do too much experimenting or anything, or as much as you want to. So we kind of took ourselves away to we got all the microphones we could find in our house, and, drove off to North Wales in just a sort of idyllic, lovely green part of the world in January,
recorded it all in a little cottage, Zeppelined it. And
just had like a week of just kind of doing. We went in with like the songs were like pretty ready, and we gigged a couple of them, so they kind of had foundation. We could just go in, record all of that stuff, and then think about other stuff on top for the days after that. And that was a really nice luxury to have, because then we climbed Mount Snowdon halfway through the week as well. Just when it got a bit too much, we were like, right, let's go up a mountain for a bit. And then,
that's well cool. I think that like you say though, to be able to find a little bit more time to actually be a bit more like experimental, and the fact that you've gone with the songs in the bare bones and in some form, you know, enough of a form to be able to go, this is the structure of the song, this is how it would sound if we were just to play a guy and a guitar kind of thing. But there is that element of rushing to get the product done when you're in a commercial studio, to be like, right, okay, we're on the clock now, we've got to make sure that this is you go in, you kind of go in over prepared, don't you? And then that can sometimes take away the energy that's, you can't really bottle up then capture the energy that you want to try capture, in the moment sort of thing. So that's pretty cool that you've put yourself in a scenario to be able to do that, and then also to be able to be somewhere as beautiful as that and be able to disconnect from, I guess, cities and that sort of stuff, and just be able to climb up a mountain and take a break. It's pretty incredible. That's wicked.
I think it tied in nicely. The whole EP is sort of it's about this sort of impending environmental sort of collapse that we're all looking down the barrel of, and getting somewhere completely, like, as much as we love Leeds, it's it can get a bit concrete and grey if you're
here for a bit too
long. So if you're getting out into the green spaces, is a really nice place to
focus on.
I feel like we channeled that into music.
I was going to say, did that inspire the experimental moments that you wanted to capture in any normal scenario when you were in the studio that you couldn't actually capture? Did you manage to get what you wanted from actually going and disconnecting yourself from, like you say, a concrete cityscape and more of a green?
I think so, yeah, because we were all just so focused as well. It was like as much as like we're all like best mates, and it was super relaxed, but it's like we knew we were there for a reason, and we're all always thinking about it like the whole week. So, and it kind of gave us the luxury as well. Like a couple of us might be recording apart, but then a couple of us can like go on a walk or something, and then get back, and we can like switch and chop and change. And anyone who's feeling like they want to record something, when they have an idea, they can just do it as and when. And we kind of left everything, so it was kind of set up, or we could just move a couple things around and record anything that we wanted to do.
Sweet.
And it was just like utter freedom to do what we wanted, which is really, really nice.
That's very cool. It's definitely something I'd like to do at some point, despite having a studio here and being able to use this. Sometimes, like, it's definitely something we've spoke about. It's weird. We were talking about going to Wales as well. I don't know. Maybe that's just the dumb thing. I don't know.
I can't recommend it. It's not as cold as Scotland.
Yeah,
exactly. It's temperate.
So, I think, were you planning on playing some new material tonight, or what was your set list looking like? What were you thinking?
So we got we're gonna play a couple of songs from the EP.
The 2 singles that we released prior.
We've got an old
Great.
favourite.
What were you planning on starting with?
We'll probably start with the first single from the EP that we released a few weeks
ago. From the new stuff?
Yeah.
I think we'll jump into a song if you guys are ready. And then, so just a heads up, guys, we need to switch microphones. Just letting the audience know that we'll be switching microphones, so there'll be a little delay, and I'm going to switch off my mic so there's no latency. It's a quick workaround we've got. But if you do have any questions that you want to ask the guys, please get them in now. If you could start it with a cue at the beginning, just so I can find it pretty quickly. And then we'll jump into some questions after this track, if that's all right with you guys.
Perfect. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, I'll mute my mic. You do what you need to do.
Great.
Lovely.
Cheers, man.
Right, yeah, this song's called Buried in Snow.
Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 2.
Sweet, warm, cold, a boiling heat of creosote. I am freezing now that the sun left town. Say it's my word. Say it's my word. Say it's my word. Say it's my swooping through the blossoms, all I see is the foul and the crooked. Seasons overwhelming, swallowed like a fish I've got it. Say it's my world. Say it's my world. Say it's my world. Say it's my world. And so open-hearted the burnings restarted the breeze. Now everyone's scared and everyone's sharpened their teeth. And then quick becomes slow as you're buried in snow to your throat. Say it's my world. Say it's my world. Say it's my world. Say it's my world. Cool.
Cool. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Right,
That's the one. Should we switch?
I'll
Right, we're going to
switch.
switch the mic back.
1 second.
And we're back in business. There we go.
Nice one, guys. Oh, the harmonies are on point. Absolutely love it, guys.
Man.
Wicked.
That's all we do all day. So
Yeah, we're locked in together. It's just, yeah, I'll just throw a note at him and it just has to.
Very good. Honestly, it sounds wicked. I love that. I love it.
Thanks very much.
So we've had a few questions in already.
Cool.
So I guess we'll just make a start, I guess. So at what age did you first remember getting into music, and where and what were you listening to?
Take it away. Do you have an answer?
I think I always had piano lessons when I was very little. I didn't think I thought of it like I do now as a creative thing. I think I almost thought of it like another
entity.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's just, I think that always felt like almost like another lesson at school or something. And then I think I got forced into playing the bass when I was about 11 because no one else wanted to. Classic bassist story. Sorry. Yeah. So I played in a screamo band. Well, no, I played in a screamo band. I just don't want to admit it. When I was about.
Didn't we all though, right?
Oh yeah, best days of my life. Yeah, for a few years, and yeah, since then I think it's been ever since. I was always got into David Bowie when I was very young, so that was my entry level. And still, love them to pieces. And I feel like everything I do comes from that point. Still, I think. Just songwriting and artistry wise. Anyway.
Yeah, and then for me, I don't know. My dad was a guitarist, and he performed. He's from Scotland, so he used to tour around Scotland, kind of thing. So that's always been there. But it was almost like he kind of pushed me to play guitar and stuff from, I don't know, being like 8 or whatever, and I just wasn't really. It was kind of that thing of you're a kid and your dad's telling you to do something, and you're a bit like, "Go away, Dad! I want to play."
You just don't understand.
Yeah, God, man! And slam the door.
Yeah.
But then that kind of, as he kind of eased off, and I started to get a bit more into it. And I remember there was this one, like we go on holidays to Wales every year, and to this like one beach, and I remember it was kind of, I was about 12 or 13, so I was kind of starting to get a bit moody and wanting to keep to myself and think about stuff. So I was like, right, I'm gonna go on a walk. But I didn't have any music with me. Like my dad's iPod was like knocking around. So I was like, Dad, can I take your iPod, kind of thing? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, is there anything that I should listen to? And then he was like, just shuffle like all of the Beatles stuff. So I did, and I just listened to it for like probably like an hour and a half or something. And just everything that played, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing that's ever happened, ever. So I kind of got like obsessed with the Beatles in the same way that Jacob got obsessed with David Bowie. I was getting obsessed with the Beatles, and then that kind of led into wanting to understand what was happening. So picking up instruments and trying them, and then kind of progressing. But it was always more of a up until that. Well, for a couple of years, it was kind of that same thing as you. It's seeing it as a different thing. It's something you listen to, not write. And then it was only once I came to uni that I started kind of wanting to write. After I met you, actually, I started wanting to write stuff. So he's a bit of an inspiration. He's all I listen to. Yeah, that screamo band really inspired me. God, long-winded answers there, but
no, that's good answers. I like it. What I would say though is my friend runs does a live stream every Wednesday, and it's like all Beatles acoustically speaking. Like he basically plays it, just him and a vocal pedal. And it's sick. So every Wednesday he does that. You should check it out. I'll send you a link to it if you're a fan of the Beatles. And he knows everything there is to know about that band. And he just talks about it. It's wicked.
I can listen to it for hours.
It's really good. But great answers. I love that. You've taken inspiration from kind of different parts and you've brought them together. You could see though that from both styles where you're getting your influence of harmony and even like the song structure and stuff. Like there's some interesting pauses and gaps and stuff in the song where it kind of leads you down different paths as opposed to it being like a strictly formula, I guess, pop song, if you like. It's a little there's a little bit more something to it, which is it's really interesting to listen to. So I really enjoy that.
Appreciate that.
We've had a question from Amy saying favorite gig to date.
That's a good one.
The two that you guys are at, I'd have to say.
Yeah. Beautiful audience.
So because you were there, right? Beautiful audience.
Hard to say.
Favorite gig to date? God, we have to rack our brains now. It's been so long since we performed live. I can't even remember what it feels like.
Yeah. Last one.
I think I would say we played this gig ages ago for one of our like mates' mum's friends' birthdays, and it was like this garden party thing. And they called it like a fake festival.
That was us jamming in a barn, Chris.
Yeah, but it was amazing. I loved it. And they called it Wendy Fest because her name was Wendy. And they just gave us loads of food and booze, and then we spent in their garden. And it was just, I actually loved it. It was so much fun.
So basically got paid with a rider and that's it. You just
got
a bit of beer and a bit of food and that's you set.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say that.
There's a really
I'd be quite happy to book your gigs for you then if that's just the case. You know, if it's just sending you a few sandwiches and a beer and
genuinely be chuffed. My dinner, I'm absolutely over the moon.
The dream, yeah.
What would you say? I was
a more serious one then.
Yeah, we played a gig in Wakefield recently. I don't think we played particularly well, but we were supporting this amazing person called Faith Elliott, and it's with some friends of ours, a promotion company called Bodies, who put on gigs in Wakefield. From the band My, it's those guys, and it's just all great gigs and
lovely atmosphere. Everyone's super chilled out, and it's just
lovely.
Yeah,
people actually listening, which is nice.
Okay.
That's sick. Well, I think you definitely tailor yourself for more of a listening audience. You have your moments where you're able to probably tower over, a handful of people talking and stuff. But when I watched you guys, I couldn't help but just listen. I really wanted to sort of hear what was going to happen next and that sort of stuff. But your drummer, by the way, he's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Bobby.
We're not going to tell him that.
Yeah, you'll just send him the video, but you'll cut that section out.
Absolutely.
He is amazing. But for a lot of we get that all the time as well. People are always saying,
impressed by him.
Yeah, your drummer is insane because he is just a machine.
We let him loose. Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is you can tell that he's sometimes reining it in. For the good of the song, which is the sign of a good drummer anyways. But sometimes you could tell he just wants to let loose and then eventually he sort of snaps and goes for it. You can even hear it in the recordings. The previous EP, as I say, I've yet to hear the new one and I will check that out. But the previous EP, it's got so much life in the drums. I feel like it carries the song in a really interesting, so it shapes the song in a really interesting way. It almost doesn't sound so regimented and to click. I don't know if that was intentional, but I really love that loose feel to it. And
we didn't actually, that EP we didn't do to click, I think for that very reason, because we wanted it to feel super relaxed kind of thing. And he crafts these like beautiful drum parts that we all just kind of riff off of. And
actually, a couple of the songs we recorded for this new EP, he recorded the drum parts. He recorded a sort of guide drum part and then recorded the drums at the end, just so they would respond
to what we were doing and react to things that happened. Yeah, he's very thoughtful about it. He puts a lot of thought into his drum parts.
Too much thought.
Yeah, like he can come out like a week after the EP, he can come out with things like, "Guys, you think that one like bar is just too much?" And we're like, honestly, didn't even know.
Are you still here?
We've used you now.
You've finished your bit. That's wicked. I can't even remember what the question was. Did we answer a question then? We just got. It was your favourite gig, which you did answer. Wicked. Okay. I think we'll answer one more question and then we'll jump into another song because I don't like to rush the songs. I want to make sure we leave enough time for you guys to play them. I guess we'll go with this one. How do you approach writing a
Very differently. So me and Jacob are the main songwriters, and it's kind of like for that EP, it's always usually half and half. We'll have like a listening session as a band of we'll both bring songs in, and then we kind of pick ones out. Like for this lockdown like writing thing that we've been doing. We had a bit of a listening session as a band, and then it was like we kind of picked 3 each from a group of songs that we brought in. But I personally, I write, if I'm writing something, I write it quite quickly, and then I'll try and fling a load of parts at it, and then I'll just kind of leave it. Like I'll probably be done with a song within a couple of days, and then that'll just stay as the demo that I'll put forward or that we use, kind of thing. And it's quite like that for me. If I have an idea, I'll just smash it out, and then I kind of move on. I don't kind of linger. But then you do it quite differently, don't you?
Yeah, I'll if I'm not happy with an idea, I'll just toil over it for quite a long time until I'll just change it until it's right. And I used to take far too long to write songs. I used to take about 4 or 5 months to write a song, which is just far too slow.
But by the time you finally settled on an idea, that the feeling that it gave you initially, or even the style of music might have moved on, and you know,
exactly.
You've listened to other things and crafted and adapted other ideas, and you're ready to move on from it. Yeah, I feel like I'm guilty of that as well. It's quite difficult to settle on an idea sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you do have to go with ideas, and then you can go back and tweak them later. But I at the moment I'm kind of sort of writing. I'll have an idea, and then I'll just work on a demo for about a month or so, just every day, just chipping away at it, not doing a lot, but I'll spend an hour or 2 a day just writing a part or trying to get a texture just right. And but I can't. I struggle to. If I'm not enjoying writing a song, I won't just leave it. I'll just change it until I like it, which is just takes forever. But it's something like if I'm reading a book, if I'm not enjoying it, I'll just finish it out of stubbornness and pride.
And I'm the exact opposite. Yeah, I'll bow out if I'm not loving something. I'm like, I'll find someone that I love. Yeah, I think we've kind of helped each other on that front, because especially like Jacob's, because of I know of Jacob's writing style, and obviously I live in the room next door, so we kind of hear what we're doing all the time. So he's made me a bit more thoughtful of like, okay, maybe I should revisit things, and if there is something that I'm not 1,000,000% happy with, then I should make it so that I am, instead of just kind of letting it be, kind of thing. And I think you've maybe, like you said, you took like 4 months. You maybe sped up your process off the back of me just not caring. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So despite living together, do you often write together, or do you just bring separate ideas?
Never. I think there's something I find with writing songs. I've tried to collaborate. It's not. There's nothing wrong with collaboration. It's just that I find, just personally, every time I've collaborated, it feels like a halfway house between
two people's wants and needs. Yeah.
And the music that I love and I listen to is it's sort of lock yourself in away in a cabin and write that sort of stuff. It's like
so if you're getting in your own head, kind of thing, and exploring an idea.
So when you come up with an idea, either of you, and bring a song to the table, are you prepared to hear other people's opinion and take it into a different direction, or build up on it, or at least use it as a foundation for the song? But or are you quite like, this is the song, either like it or lump it, kind of thing?
I'll usually try and finish it before I show it to anyone.
Yeah,
I'll try and get it to a point like a point where I'm kind of happy with it, and then if I play it to someone and they're like, "Oh, I hate that," or "Do this," kind of thing, then I might not necessarily do it, but I'll think about it, and then then I'll try it maybe, and then if I like it, I'm like, "Yeah, that was a really good idea." Or,
okay.
Whatever.
I think with usually I've written mine and Chris's part, so guitar, keys, or and bass and vocals. That's all down.
Yeah.
Drum parts are up to Bob usually. I've got an idea and I've got references, but I'm just not clever enough to write drum parts. So
and he's just so good at it. It's like he just knows what to do.
There's no point for me trying to write a drum part because he spent his whole life learning how to do that. Same with guitar parts in a way. I feel like I've been trying to learn how to write guitar parts better. But it's a lot of the time I'll have an idea and I'll have a sort of concept for what I want, and I'll take it to Jacob, who's the other guitarist, and he'll create something which is that I probably wouldn't be able to play. That comes from him.
And we work on harmonies a lot together, I think. Like if we bring in a song, the main thing that the two of us we'll discuss the song, and but we'll discuss the harmonies a lot as well, and kind of throw ideas out there, because that's the thing that obviously that's the way that we're interacting in the song is these harmonies and these vocal lines that are kind of weaving in and out. So that's the thing, I think, because I'm the same in that I write the parts that us two play, and then past that it's like vocals, and sometimes we ask opinions on lyrics to each other and things like that. So there is a bit of it. There's a bit of
it's the arrangement, right? Rather than the songwriting itself.
The meat and potatoes.
The potatoes.
All right. Well, that we'll leave it at the meat and potatoes then. Wicked. I love it. I think let's get a tune from you, because I'm concerned we're going to run over. And then we'll have a real short segue and talking in between, and then we'll
do the
final song from you, and then we'll have a quick fire round question or something. We'll see. All right, I'll leave you to it.
Perfect. Cheers, man.
Right. So the audio.
Yes. Yeah, we'll do it now. This next song is the second single that we released from the EP we've just released, and it's called "To Leave Her Alone." Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I should stay a little longer. Maybe I'll just wait to see that everyone gets on.
I should stay a little longer. Maybe I'll just wait to see that everyone gets home. I think I should stay a little longer. Why the answers play to leave home. Everyone gets home. I think I should stay a little longer. But maybe it's time we leave her alone. But maybe it's time we leave her alone. Cool.
There we go.
Thank you.
That's the second tune.
I'll switch it. Ooh, the thing.
Switchy. And we're back.
There we go.
Hey, wicked guys, love it.
Cheers, man.
Thank you, mate.
Sounds great. So we've had a handful more questions. We should rattle through these like quick fire-ish. Obviously, if you want to elaborate on it, then by all means do.
We'll try and restrain.
If we run over, we run over. But
Well,
obviously, I want to make sure we get your final song in. Otherwise, I will be in the doghouse as well. Okay, so I guess this is a pretty easy one. Where was it? Have you got any gigs lined up after lockdown?
Just the one. It's obviously everything's been cancelled. We're waiting on a lot of shows to be rescheduled. But it's just a Long Division festival in Wakefield. We got a slot there through the Music Leeds program, which has been helping us out a lot.
Nice.
So yeah, we're playing there.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was cancelled, obviously.
Yeah. You were scheduled to play live at Leeds as well, weren't you, this year?
Not this year. We had a lot of Leeds dates in though. I think we played it last year, and they don't like to do consecutive bookings. So maybe next year.
I saw your name somewhere, but obviously it must have been an older poster.
Yeah.
But either way, that's you're obviously you're chipping away at the Leeds audience and playing like Hedgerow House, which is where I saw you last, and what's it called? Hyde Park Book Club. That's a wicked venue though. I really like it.
So nice.
We did have another gig lined up there actually. There's a little zine called Nice People, which are doing really good things for music in Leeds. So I looked them up, but we were supposed to play a gig with them at the start of April. Obviously that was no good.
Postponed for anyways.
Hopefully that'll happen soon.
That's fair enough.
So
where do you draw your inspiration from?
Oh, it's quite fleeting for me. I'd say it's whatever I'm listening to in the moment. There's obviously the base level things like David Bowie and all things I've listened to my whole life. But it can be a lyric in a song that will give me an idea, or it can be a book that I'm reading, or something I've seen when I'm walking along. It's weird. It's the inspiration strikes when you least expect it, I think. Yeah. And the moment you go looking for it, it
runs away.
It's rubbish. You don't get anything good. So just close your eyes and let it take you by surprise. That's what I'd say as far as.
Yeah. I think it's pretty similar for me, to be honest. Conversations I have with people, if they say something that I think is pretty interesting, or even just they use a phrase that I think is really, really sweet or something, then like base something around that. And usually it'll tie in with something that I've kind of been thinking about anyway. Like maybe I've been reading about something, and then someone said something that's quite a nice phrase to put the two together, and then that kind of gets me thinking. And but yeah, in terms of bands, I'd say probably obviously the Beatles. We both love Everything, if you know. Like we obviously we just adore them. The harmonies and everything, we draw a lot of inspiration from, and a lot of 60s stuff for me as well. Yeah.
Cool. That's great. That makes complete sense. I like the idea of kind of you stopping someone mid conversation and just be like, hold that thought, and then just jotting it down.
Yeah.
And then just like, as you were, yeah, just say that again, please.
Walked around with a tape recorder.
Yeah.
Always recording. Everything.
Brilliant. Okay. Do you ever get stage fright?
Yes, I get it dreadfully.
Do you really?
Yeah, and I always have. Like every gig I've ever played in my whole life, like even aside from Green Gardens.
Are
For
you
the
mistaking it
hour
for
before,
adrenaline though?
You are?
Are you mistaking the fear for adrenaline instead? Like,
I don't know. I get very nervous.
Are you sure you're not just like pent up and excited about playing as opposed to?
I do. I think it's just I struggle being in front of a room full of people. Like once I'm up there, I'm kind of fine, and everything.
That's what I was going to say.
Right.
It's because when I have seen you, you guys just seem so at ease and so like comfortable up there. So like for you to say yes, you suffer from fear, it's like, are you sure?
Yeah. Recently, I'd say in the last year or so, it's gotten way better because we're just so comfortable with it. And last year we all lived together as well. So when you spend all of your time with these people, it's like, and we rehearse like a fair amount, so that like the songs are so ingrained that we can kind of just have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is that thing of beforehand, it's the butterflies and everything, but once we're up there, we kind of settle into it and we kind of get into the music a lot, and then you kind of
have a few jokes,
switch off. Yeah, we do have a laugh.
We have a laugh.
We do have a laugh, don't we? I just think that's the scariest. Well, not scariest part, but the waiting around. It's the worst part of the.
It is, isn't it?
I guess it's not the worst part of being in a band. I'm sure there's plenty of worse things, but it is one of the things that you kind of get there, you set up your sound check, then you kind of just wait, and then
it's the way.
Then you start overthinking. You're like, are anyone going to be here? Are we going to be playing to no one? And then you think, what if the wedge doesn't work? And then before you know it, you just like overthought absolutely every worst case scenario, and it was all fine.
Nothing to worry about. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I usually just go to the toilet loads before I'm going.
That's a good one. Keep your mind
just stay. Well, not out of choice. just involuntary toilet action.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Lovely answer.
Yeah.
Very good. So we had that stage fright one. I should have been looking for another question. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. No rush whatsoever.
Would you guys say your music came from? Would you guys say your music came from your minds or your heart, emotion or logic?
I think it's I think the best music is a halfway point. I think someone once said to me, if it's all heart, then you end up sort of piss lad in a pub singing Wonderwall with an acoustic guitar. And if it's all mind, then it's just unlistenable nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. So halfway in between those 2 points is
a good amount.
Yeah, I think it comes from your heart, and you sort of arrange it and tailor it with your mind.
You apply the logic to the emotion, don't you? The emotion is what I think sets both of us off, and then we kind of put a bit of logic to it to make it listenable.
Yeah, I think the balance is crucial though. So an unhelpful both would be the answer to that question.
I think that's a very helpful both, to be fair. I think that's knowledge, you know, like you say, you can write a song that's completely heart on your sleeve type thing, and it just not resonate because there's no thought behind it. It's just gush, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and then logic can just be outsmarting everyone's train of thought, and then they'll be like, I just don't have a clue what this guy's on, you know. So that I think that's completely valid. It makes a lot of sense.
Good.
Right.
Excellent.
I think we should get your final song, and then we'll just wrap up and round off the show with if there are any quick fire questions from anyone, and just any final words from you guys. But I definitely think we should just jump into this tune. I'm really looking forward to hearing this.
Oh, beautiful stuff.
Don't forget about the microphone.
Yes. That's a good point.
Right, I'll get it when you're doing it. Right, are you ready for us to go for it, man? Either one of you. Right, there we go, and we're in.
This is a older song. I think released it a couple of years ago. No, last year.
Last year, yeah.
Last year. It's called "And I Felt Like the Sea." My legs won't work. They'll crumble every time you call my name. My feet will hurt. They'll hurt as I walk on embers for days. I don't walk a lonely road. I walk a road that's filled with people that move far too slow. I flew too high and looked below. I flew too high, so all I felt was vertigo. These legs won't hold. It's just my brain's let go. My blood is taking control. I wanna be like the sea. I wanna be timeless, and timelessness wants to be me. I don't wanna let this be. Keep it in mind, even green grass turns brown late and sea. But these legs won't hold. It's just my brain's let go. My blood is taking control. But these legs won't hold. It's just my brain's let go. My blood is taking control. I'll be ready for it next time. I'll come running to the big time. And I'll be ready for it. So next time, I'll be ready for it next time. I'll come running to the big time. I'll come running for it. I wanna be like the sea. I wanna be timeless, and timelessness wants to be me.
That's the one.
Oh, right. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Oh,
And we're back.
there we go.
Mega. Absolutely love that. Like the lyrics in that and the whole feel of that song, it just sends me somewhere that I can't even describe. It's so strange. It's like I listened to the recording, including the live version as well, and it's just got such a, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's almost like drowsy kind of feeling. I don't know. It's wicked. And like that's what made me and Amy absolutely like fall in love with the band and really start to listen to you guys, is when we saw you and you played that song. But like I don't know, it just I think you almost seemed apprehensive about playing it because it might not have been the mood of the night or something, but you were like, we're just going to play it anyways, and we'll just see what happens. And then everyone was just pin drop silent listening. It was wicked. It was a really good moment, actually.
Tom, I appreciate that.
Yeah, cheers.
That's really nice. Nice thing to hear. It makes
good.
it all worth it, doesn't it? All the payless gigs. All the sound.
I mean, after this stream, everyone's going to be paying you in beers and sandwiches now. You know.
That's the whole reason we did
That's
this.
all you want.
Get out there.
Sandwiches.
All right. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you guys and hearing your music and hearing you talk and sort of break down how you write and all that kind of thing. It's been really enjoyable. Are there any sort of final words or anything you'd like to sign off with, or anything you'd like to say or plug or anything like that?
So we've got obviously we've got the EP out, and we've got some merch and stuff off the back of that. If anyone's interested, we have a T-shirt prepared. Disgustingly, we've had too much time on our hands.
Oh, you got a new one now. Nice.
Yeah, different one. Get your hands on it.
Where can people get that?
Bandcamp.
Look on our Bandcamp. All of our socials. Oh wow! Look at that. That is
So if you
slick.
pop it on your socials,
There they go. There they are.
Yeah, if you look on our social media, there's there'll be links, hopefully plastered everywhere, to places you can listen to the EP. Let us know what you think about it.
Just send us messages. We're so lonely.
We'd like to hear from you.
great.
Also, just thanks for listening. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
It's,
thanks guys. It's been lovely.
it's lovely,
Really
lovely little thing. Yeah.
Wicked.
I think that's us.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it, and I'd love to sort of maybe look at having you back on sometime down the line,
Love to, man.
and hearing more of your music and maybe breaking down some more of your songs and stuff, because you've got some stories to tell. It's really interesting to hear how you sort of develop songs and things like that. So please keep doing your thing and keep doing what you're doing, and I look forward to either doing a live stream with you or hopefully seeing you in person at a gig sometime down the line.
That'd be lovely soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. I'll speak to you real soon. All right.
See you, mate. See you, mate.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you enjoyed hearing from the guys, head over to their socials. They're on screen now. I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight. It's been wicked. So I do this live stream every single night at 7 for about an hour. Sometimes we run over. It just is what it is. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you've subscribed already, thank you very much for your continued support. Also, check out my socials. I've just put out a link to these Assembly Point t-shirts, the tie-dye Assembly Point t-shirts that are on sale, and the 100% of the profits will be going to all of the artists on the 11th of July for the all-day live stream festival. So yeah, it's not a cash cow for me. It is literally to support live music. So anything you can do to help them and, you know, keep music going during these pretty mental times. Yeah. All right. I guess that's it. You take care of yourselves, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.